Hey guys, it's JXX21 here, and today I'm going to be going over which RC vehicle you want to buy in order to get into the hobby. On the table here, I have a Traxxas T-Max. This is representing Nitro. I have a Traxxas Slash, which is representing 10th scale electric. And I have a Latrax SST representing small scale electric. Now let's start with the T-Max. I do not recommend this for getting into the hobby. The reason for that is it has a gas engine. Gas engines can be very temperamental at times and not want to start. With the Traxxas, this isn't as much of a problem, but it is still a major pain for new hobbyists. One reason for that is that you have to break the engine in. If that's not done properly, you'll have a weak performing engine. Also, you have to tune the carburetor. This supplies air and fuel into the engine in order for it to run properly. After you're done running your model, you have to unplug the glow plug wire, remove the glow plug, remove the air filter, which I've already done, put WD-40 into the engine, turn it over, then put after-run oil into the engine. If this is not done, your motor will seize up and eventually not want to start or run. Moving to the 10th scale electric. This is a Traxxas Slash two-wheel drive. I really do recommend getting one of these. They're cheap and they're fun. This is probably my most fun vehicle that I have at the moment. Now, there's a lot of upgrades that you can do for this, along with the T-Max. But this one is electric, meaning that you'll have more enjoyment after running it, because you won't have to clean it and take care of the engine and whatnot. With the electric, all you have to do is plug in a battery, turn it on, and you go. Now, this is beneficial. Most people don't think it is, but it's beneficial because you have a less maintenance vehicle that will go most cases faster, unless you get a lower model. Traxxas offers a VXL and an XL5. If you're new to the hobby and this is your first vehicle, I highly recommend getting the XL5 versions. They also offer the XL5 versions in a Traxxas Rustler, a Bandit, a Stampede 2-wheel drive, a Stampede 4-wheel drive, and a few other models that all come with the XL5 system. This model here started off as an XL5, but it is no longer an XL5. That is because I have upgraded the ESC, which is essentially the brain which controls the motor and provides power to the receiver. I have also changed out the motor to a Castle Creations 3800 kV 4-pole brushless motor. Now the XL5 system is a brushed motor, meaning that you have two brushes that ride on a commutator to provide power. With the brushless, you have magnets that alternate current in order to turn the motor. It is a more efficient design and a lot faster. If you're beginning in the hobby, I don't recommend a brushless, although Traxxas has a great thing where you can put the ESC into programming mode. They also offer a brushless model, which is the VXL. This comes in just about every one of their 10th scale vehicles. With the XL5 and VXL system, the power button is here. In order to set it and program it to what you want, you can hold down the button, and this light over here will flash indicating what setting you have. For instance, if you turn it on and keep holding this button, it will go from green to red to blank. It'll blink once red, it'll stop blinking, blink twice red, stop blinking, and blink 3 times red. Each one of those blinks means something different. Setting 1, which is 1 blink, means that you'll have full power forward and reverse. Setting 2 means that you'll have half throttle in forward and reverse. Setting 3 means you'll have full power forward, full brakes, but no reverse. This is a race setting. This is not really ever used if you are a beginner or you're just running for fun. Now, the appeal of an electric is, like I've stated before, you don't have to clean it. But when you get to something small like this, maintenance plays a major toll in keeping your vehicle running. As you can see, I have stripped out a steering servo. That's because the servo in this Latrax is just too small. This is a Traxxas 2065, which is the sub-micro servo. The servo saver in this vehicle, which if you hold the servo still and try to turn the vehicle, as you see, the horn's not moving, but the wheels are. There's a spring that is supposed to help the servo not break gears. But this does not work all the time. Also, I have burned out the ESC, which is located here. I have replaced it with an upgraded unit, but I have also burned out the motor, and I've replaced this. The great thing about this is, though, if you do get it and you are a newcomer, you probably won't have those problems, mainly because I was doing things that I really shouldn't have done. Now, that included running it in the rain. These electric vehicles are water resistant. On the box they say waterproof, however, that is not completely true. The electronics, the ESC, the servo, and the motor are waterproof. However, you have bearings in your hubs, front, rear, and transmission, which can rust and seize up. Now, with most of the XL5 10th scale models from Traxxas, they have bushings. These bushings are impregnated with oil, so they are self-lubricating. However, they are still prone to seizing around your axles and not allowing the vehicle to drive. With this, it has full ball bearings, so you still shouldn't be running it in the rain, although you can, and it does have waterproof electronics. The receiver on this model is mounted inside of this weatherproof box. Along with on this model, it's mounted inside this box. Inside the box, you just remove these two screws and these two screws, and you will be able to access your receiver. You really shouldn't be having to do that. But if you do, remember this: 1 to turn, 2 to burn. That means that the servo for steering plugs into channel 1, and the ESC, which is the brain, plugs into channel 2 on your receiver. Hence, 1 to turn, and 2 to burn rubber. In the Latrax, however, you really shouldn't be trying to do burnouts on the street or doing donuts on the street. That is how I burnt out my motor and ESC. The motor is a cheap fix at only $10. However, the ESC gets more expensive than that. Although Latrax has a lifetime warranty on their electronics. So for $20, you can send your electronics in and they will send you brand new units. However, I would not use this service all the time because since these electronics are from Traxxas, you send them to Traxxas, which is located in Texas, and it can take a little while for you to get your parts back and make you happy because you can finally run your vehicle again. Also, if you plan on getting multiple batteries for the Latrax, I would only recommend running one at a time and letting the motor cool down completely, because I tried to run 2 batteries back to back, like one battery, run it dead, another battery, plug it in, run it, and it would not work because the ESC went into overheat protection mode. That is one thing that the electric models from Traxxas come equipped with. They come equipped with overvoltage detection and overheating protection, meaning they will shut off if they have too many volts put into them or too high of a temperature. Now, This is a Traxxas plug. This does not come on the Latrax. The Latrax comes with a Molex or Tamiya plug. That plug is most common on the extremely cheap radio control models that you can get at Target, Toys R Us, Walmart, and a few other places. This plug conducts more current and provides a more reliable connection to your battery. At your hobby shop, they can solder on a new plug so that you can use whatever batteries you want, as long as they have the same plug and are the proper voltage for your system. The XL5 systems from Traxxas can run up to a 8-cell nickel metal hydride battery pack or a 2-cell LiPo. A 2-cell LiPo provides 7.4 volts and is the ideal battery to get the most performance out of your vehicle. The Traxxas vehicles do come with a 7-cell nickel metal hydride, which is a good battery for learning how to use your model. But after you learn to use your model, I would suggest getting a LiPo charger and a LiPo battery for your model. But once you do that, you have to set your ESC to LiPo mode. In order to do this, press the button, release it, the ESC should turn on. Now, press and hold it. Hold it until the light goes green and the motor will also chime. It will play a tune. Now, when you turn it into LiPo mode, it will put an ascending chime. When you put it into nickel metal hydride mode, it will put it into a descending tone. Now, the reason you want to use LiPo mode on your ESC is so that you do not damage your LiPo batteries. Your LiPo batteries, they can cost a lot of money, but not all the time, and they get damaged if each cell goes below a certain voltage. That voltage is 3.4 volts. I would also recommend getting a cell checker for your LiPo and also a balance charger. A balance charger balances all the cells to the correct stats that your battery is supposed to have. Your battery is only as strong as its weakest cell. So say you have a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. 5,000 milliamp hour is how long the battery will last. The higher the milliamp hour, the longer the battery will last, and the better the battery is. Now, say you have a 5,000 milliamp hour LiPo battery, and one of the cells in it is down at 4,000 milliamp hour. Your battery will only go for 4,000 milliamp hours. Now, a 5,000 milliamp hour battery in this vehicle with the brushless system will run for about 30 to 40 minutes depending on throttle. In the XL5 system, you will get about the same runtime. In the Latrax, on a 2-cell LiPo, you will get, on a 2-cell LiPo with 2200 mAh, 2200 milliamp hours, I can get around 30 to 40 minutes.